the US Navy in the Red Sea. Demonstrators say they're ready to defend their nation's sovereignty against the West. This comes as two warships with 3,000 American military personnel arrive at the Bahrain-based US Fifth Fleet in the Red Sea. Washington has called the deployment a response to growing tensions with Iran and the country's alleged involvement in seizing merchant vessels, which Tehran denies. However, the US itself has detained an Iranian sea tanker, which is now docked off the coast of Texas. Yemen has warned the American Navy against getting too close to the country's waters.
We tell the United States government and its accursed President Joe Biden, your Navy fleets do not and will never scare us. America depends and relies on its military power on the ground. However, we depend on God the Almighty, who possesses power over everything on the ground and in the heavens.
My message to the aggressors in the Red Sea is this: pull back your Navy fleets now, because by the will of Allah, your ships and fleets will be destroyed and will sink into the Red Sea. This is your last warning. We are ready to take this fight with them to land, air and sea.
Geopolitical analyst and journalist Yousef Moury says the US seeks to control the Red Sea through hostile acts against Yemen.
Well, the demonstration comes after the Yemeni people got the news that 3,000 U.S. troops have deployed in the Red Sea. And this is something that they took out to the streets today to strongly condemn, strongly denounce, and to send a very clear warning to the U.S. Biden administration. And that message is the Yemeni people, the Yemeni army, and the Ansar Allah movement, the Houthis, they're ready to defend their land. They're not going to accept the continuous exploitation by the U.S. and Western powers over Yemeni land and over Yemeni territorial waters. Well, this protest comes after, the deputy minister at the foreign ministry sent a very clear warning to the U.S., and that is, if they continue to approach Yemeni waters, then they will face the costliest war they have ever been involved in. And that's a very significant statement by the deputy minister, and perhaps that's an indication that the Yemeni army is fully prepared to counter and to protect their territorial waters from any foreign invaders. I think the majority of the Yemeni people, they believe that the U.S. wants to control the Red Sea so they can continue their harassment and they continue their acts of terrorism by invading and occupying Yemeni lands, Yemeni islands, and by controlling territorial waters that belong to the Yemeni government. That's the biggest type of terrorism that the Yemeni people are condemning and are pointing the fingers at the U.S. administration, the British, the French, and the German government. And this NATO-like forces that have been established to spread their hegemony across the world by occupying lands and by controlling the global economy and controlling the shipping lanes, as the Yemeni people see the U.S. trying to do once again. There's a very significant statement that was made last week by a government official here, and that is, he believes that the U.S. and the Western powers, they're planning a preemptive strike on Yemen. In order for them to do that, they have to control Yemeni lands, they have to control Yemeni waterways, and they have to occupy Yemeni islands so they can, wage a war on Yemen anytime that they want to strike Yemen, they'll be able to do so if they control the Red Sea. But the Yemeni government has strongly sent the message that this will not be a reality, and they are ready to, they're ready to fight and they're ready to go to war if that's the case, and if that's what the U.S.